Sometimes, learning English can feel like solving a puzzle. You understand words, but something still feels out of place. You study hard, but it doesn't click in real life. Why? Because real memory, real fluency, comes from emotion and curiosity. And nothing creates those better than a mystery. That's why stories work. They surprise you. They make you feel something. And when you feel, you remember. You absorb vocabulary and grammar without even trying. So subscribe now, and let this story change how you feel about English. Because this one. It started with a box in the attic. He was helping clean out his grandmother's house. She had passed away peacefully, and the family had come to sort through decades of memories. Most of it was ordinary, books, old kitchen tools, letters wrapped in ribbon, until he found a small wooden box. It was at the very back of the attic, covered in dust, hidden behind a stack of yellowing newspapers. Inside were old photographs, black and white, most of them worn at the edges. Weddings, picnics, quiet afternoons frozen in time. He smiled at the faces. Some he recognized, uncles, aunts, a much younger version of his grandmother. Others were strangers. But then he saw one photograph that made his breath catch. It was a group photo taken in a park. Everyone was dressed in clothes from decades ago. Maybe the 1950s. Trees in the background. A man with a radio. A woman holding a child. And standing at the edge, was him. Not someone who looked like him. It was him. Same eyes. Same nose. Same quiet way of standing. But the photo was dated. On the back, in pencil, Summer Picnic, 1958. He wasn't born until the 1990s. He turned the photo over again. It wasn't a mistake. The image was too clear. Too perfect. He felt a strange chill move up his spine. He showed it to his mother. She turned pale. "That's impossible," she whispered. "That looks exactly like you." He searched through the rest of the photos, but none had that face again. Just that one. Just him, decades before he should have existed. Over the next few days, he couldn't stop thinking about it. He started looking at old records, family trees, anything that might explain it. And that's when he found something else, an old family journal written by his great-grandmother. In one entry, she described a boy who would visit her in dreams. She said he always stood quietly, watching, never speaking, just observing. She wrote, "He looks like no one I know, but I feel I'll know him one day. As if he comes from far ahead." The hair on his arms stood up. Maybe it was coincidence. Maybe there was a distant relative who looked just like him. But why only in one photo? Why the same gentle expression? And why did he remember, suddenly, a dream he had as a child, of standing in a sunny park, next to strangers, with the smell of grass and radios playing soft music? He never found another photo like it. He kept that one framed, on his desk. Every now and then, he'd glance at it and feel something impossible, like time had bent for a moment, just enough for the edges to touch. And in those moments, he realized something else. English wasn't just a language to study. It was a thread, a way to connect people, times, even mysteries. A bridge not only between countries, but between realities. So next time you find yourself lost in a confusing sentence or unsure how to speak, think of the boy in the photo. The past, the present, and the future are closer than you think. And the more you listen, the more the strange, beautiful patterns of English will start to make sense, like a message written across time, just waiting for you to understand. That's the power of stories. That's how we remember. That's how we grow. You just experienced a strange and emotional story, in English. And if you followed it, your brain just practiced structure, vocabulary, and meaning without effort. That's real learning. So tell me, what's the most mysterious photo or object you've ever found? Comment below, and let's keep this story going. And don't forget to subscribe to Dynamic English, where every strange story helps you speak more fluently, without even realizing you're learning.